So we're gonna check this video out. This video is Virginia school leaders spent $22,000 on travel over 15 months on the job, the documents show. So let's see what this video is
about. Petersburg doesn't have that kind of money to spend on things like this.
David Mueller had trouble containing his dismay when we showed him the amount of money former Petersburg Superintendent Dr. Tamara Sterling spent traveling to conferences during her 15-month tenure with the city school system.
But you sure shouldn't be spending $22,000 field tripping around the country.
Mueller's son is in the 4th grade at Petersburg's Walnut Hill Elementary, and he said money is extremely tight in the high-poverty school district.
Some of these teachers are taking their paycheck money and spending it on school supplies for the kids. Other teachers are asking for help.
I, Dr. Tamara A. Sterling, do solemnly swear.
Sterling abruptly resigned as superintendent in late March, more than 2 years before her contract was set to expire. Earlier that month, the school system announced that she was on a leave of absence, but never explained why.
I thought she was a really nice, thorough woman.
So before we proceed any further, these people are innocent until be proven guilty, but these cases continue to happen over and over and over again. And the common denominator in all of these cases is a black, female, liberal, progressive. In all of these cases, I'm just stating facts. You can go look it up. Fani Willis, Latoya Cantrell, Tiffany Henyard, Monique in East Point, Michigan. So many.
Really surprised.
A substitute teacher was actually found guilty of assaulting Mueller's son at Walnut Hill in January. And after meeting with Sterling about what happened, Mueller said he was waiting on a follow-up phone call from her, but said that never happened.
I stopped down at the school board where they told me she was in California and she would be back. They told me it was at a conference.
It was one of 5 out-of-state conferences Sterling attended between February of 2023 and February of 2024, according to information we obtained through a public records request. She started with the National Conference on Education in San Antonio, Texas in February of 2023. Now, the actual conference was February 16th through the 18th, but records show the school system paid $6,309.02 for Sterling to stay in San Antonio for an entire week. Even if she flew into the conference the day before and flew out the day after, taxpayers still paid for her to stay in San Antonio for 3 additional nights. Hanover and Henrico's superintendents also went to this conference, but each only stayed for 4 nights and spent far less money. Then, in late June of 2023, Sterling went to the Urban Superintendents Collaborative for Improved Student Outcomes at the Green Valley Ranch Resort Spa and Casino in Henderson, Nevada. The conference was June 28th to the 30th, but she stayed June 27th through July 2nd, spending $2,713. A few weeks later, Sterling traveled.
Regardless of any of these outcomes, these people are egregious in the things that they're doing. But the one thing that I see is overwhelming is that they're using our children as pawns in anything to get whatever outcome they want, whether they want to travel and discover new things. Because here's what we do though, as far as being in a corporate environment. Corporations are going to put you to work when you go to these events or conferences, as they call them. The conferences are going to be 8, 10, 12 hours, but there is going to be some time to where you can go out and explore certain things. That's why they have these conferences in the areas that they have them in. That's why they do this. But my basic point is that all this to exploit our children. They're doing it in the name of better education, better outcomes, and that's part of the reason that there's any of them. But I think most people have good intentions, but when you get certain people with certain agendas, oh, where is this conference? Oh, it's in Nevada. It don't even matter how close it is to Las Vegas or anywhere else. Oh, we definitely going to that one.
To Orlando, Florida for the SREB Making Schools Work Conference. The actual conference was July 18th through the 21st, but she stayed July 17th through the 23rd. Records show she spent $3,866 on 2 separate rooms at the hotel for herself, registration, and a rental car that she put 335 miles on. Her assistant for special projects also attended this conference and rented a separate car, driving 477 miles while in Orlando. Next, she flew to New Orleans for the NABSE conference, where she spent $2,526. And finally, she again traveled to the National Conference on Education, this time in San Diego. The actual conference was February 15th through the 17th of this year, but taxpayers paid for her to spend 7 nights there. Records show she spent $4,816 in San Diego, where she booked 2 rooms at the conference hotel from February 13th through the 16th, even though she was the only attendee.
And if you have the chance to go to a city such as San Diego, I've been to San Diego several times. San Diego is freaking beautiful. If you have the chance to go to San Diego and vacation and do whatever it is you want to do, why would you do that? Yes, you would do that, but do it on your own, with your own money. You don't take this opportunity to spend taxpayers' money. Ooh, I said money. That is bad. Am I about to stroke out? I hope not. Taxpayers' money to fund your frolicking and do whatever the fuck you're doing. No, you don't do that. I'm sure you make enough money to take time off and do whatever is necessary, but okay, this is what they're doing. But they're following the lead of their federal politicians. These are just politicians that doing what politicians do. And Cat Williams said on Club Shay, these things are being brought to light, and that's what's going on.
Indeed. She booked another room at the conference hotel February 16th through the 18th, in addition to a room at the U.S. Grant Luxury Hotel, which she booked from February 11th through the 13th and February 16th through the 18th. Henrico and Chesterfield superintendents also went to this conference, but they only stayed for 2 and 3 nights. They were also speakers at the conference and spent much less money. In total, Sterling charged the Petersburg School Division $22,267.59 for those trips. For comparison, we requested superintendents' travel expenses in other area school divisions during the same time period, many of which are much larger than Petersburg, and nobody even came close to Sterling's total. In Hanover, the superintendent spent $7,507. In Henrico, $8,974. In Chesterfield, $514.34. And in Hopewell, $1,525.
So there just really is no rationale that can be used to explain the excess that's appearing in the records that you found.
We showed our findings to State Senator LaCherice Aird, who represents Petersburg in the General Assembly.
What do you think about getting 2 rooms at a conference for yourself?
I could not explain it if I tried.
Like Mueller, she wants answers about what led to Sterling's sudden departure and why Sterling was allowed to spend so much money on out-of-state travel.
Do you think it's fair to, like you said, professionals go to conferences? Yes, we understand that. But do you think it's fair to book a whole week at the site, you know, when the conference is only a couple days, for example?
Not on the public's dime. When you're talking about adding on additional days or additional time spent, that should not be at the public's expense. Certainly not in a school division like the city of Petersburg, where.
And then that's the point of it. Yeah, if you see these conferences and things are going to be happening in these cities that you might be excited about, that you might want to travel to, that's fine. Take whatever's allowed in your per diem and all of these things that's allowed in whatever capacity that you're in, but you're taking the whole thing and treating that whole thing as a vacation. No, come on, y'all. This is not good. But we're seeing it over and over and over again.
Where resources are certainly limited for sure.
Travel authorization form shows school board chair Kenneth Pritchett approved Sterling's travel, although for the San Antonio trip, she did not tell Pritchett in the form all the dates she would be staying there, and she underestimated the cost of the trip. We've tried to reach Pritchett by phone and email to ask him about Sterling's trips, but he has not responded.
The school board chairman will have to have increased scrutiny when approving these requests and these expenditures, unfortunately, because of what we're seeing today. The state has an interest in seeing the school division flourish, but from a financial standpoint, this certainly can't go on, and you expect the support of the state.
I think the school board needs to seriously look into this. The parents in Petersburg care about their kids. We want the best for them. They need to look into it. It's about the kids, not blowing money.
Now, we reached out to Dr. Sterling to try to ask her about her travel expenses, but we have not heard back. Senator Aird tells me she is now working with the State Department of Education to ensure greater enforcement and oversight of Petersburg schools so something like this does not happen again. I'm Melissa Hippolyte for CBS 6.
We know what this is. We know what this is. We definitely know what this is. She is just taking this opportunity to, you know, we're in this age of, you know, IG and Twitter, and I'm not going to call it X, never. We're going to do this and take photos and blah, blah, blah. Because she has probably never traveled outside of her hometown. So now she's in this position and she's taking advantage of this. But I'm just like, it's crazy, right? The conference is for these sad days. And it would be exciting to travel to a different city or whatever the case may be. But why don't you set things up as such to where we know the conference, they're going to keep us busy. We're going to be in this conference 8, 10, 12 hours. We know that. After that, set it up. You can go see the city 1, 2, 3, 4 hours. You don't need days. I understand that. I do understand if you've never been anywhere. I can't speak to any of that. I've been all over the world, and I made it a point to any city that I go to, I'm going to experience that city. Whether it's whatever the smallest amount of time is. I don't care what the smallest amount of time is. Any city that I've gone to, I've been to Tokyo. I've been to Ireland, 2 countries in Africa, 30 states in the United States. So I made it a point to experience those cities. But that was all on me. So I would understand if you are going to these places that you have never had the chance to go to because of the way that you grew up. But do that on your own. Don't do that at the expense of other people. That's all I'm saying.